Do you ever feel completely drained by a relationship? You have this gut feeling that something is seriously wrong, but you can't name it. On the surface, they seem like the most caring soul you've ever met. But behind closed doors, you feel like you're dodging invisible daggers. That crazy-making feeling isn't in your head. It's a signature of a specific hidden manipulation. Dealing with a covert narcissist is like living in a gorgeous house where you can't escape the faint, sickly sweet smell of something rotting under the floorboards. Everything looks perfect, but your intuition is screaming. Unlike the loud, arrogant narcissist we all picture, the covert type is a wolf in sheep's clothing. They weaponize traits that look like sensitivity or humility, and this quiet form of emotional abuse is so damaging because it's designed to make you question your own sanity. But your confusion is the intended result of their strategy. Let's turn that confusion into clarity. The first sign is a profound lack of genuine empathy, cleverly disguised as extreme sensitivity. They can seem like the most understanding person in the room.
They listen, nod, and give you a perfectly timed hug, but their response feels hollow. That's because they experience empathy intellectually, not emotionally. They've learned the script for caring, but they don't actually feel your pain. Here's how it plays out. You come home devastated after a horrible day. You pour your heart out, and they say, "Oh, that sounds awful. I totally get it." But within minutes, the conversation mysteriously pivots to them. They'll say, "That reminds me of how my boss is always undermining me." Or even worse, "Your stress is really stressing me out." Suddenly, you find yourself comforting them. Their initial display of care was just a doorway to make it about their own feelings. You're left feeling unseen and alone. Their empathy is a performance, not a feeling, and realizing that is the first step to getting your reality back. The second sign is a deep-seated, unshakable victim mentality. Covert narcissists are masters at framing themselves as the perpetual underdog, the misunderstood soul always wronged by a cruel world. This isn't just about avoiding blame, it's about control.
Let's say you try to bring up something that hurt you. You might say, "I felt hurt when you made that joke about me in front of our friends." Instead of an apology, they immediately retreat into victimhood. You'll hear things like, "I guess I just can't do anything right," or "Why is everyone always so sensitive? I'm always the bad guy." They might even bring up a past trauma, completely flipping the script. Before you know it, you're the aggressor, and you find yourself apologizing to them. By constantly playing the victim, they train you to walk on eggshells. You start holding back your own needs because you know it will just trigger their sob story, leaving you feeling guilty and selfish. Their stories are compelling, but if you look closer, there's a common thread. In their version of events, they are never at fault. It's an exhausting cycle that keeps you focused on their pain and totally disconnected from your own. Trust what you feel. That constant sense of confusion, of walking on eggshells, is not a sign of your weakness. It's the proof of their strategy. Your gut is right.
The third sign, flowing directly from a fear of open conflict, is the masterful use of passive aggression. An overt narcissist might yell, but the covert type punishes you with silence and subtlety. Their anger is hidden behind a mask of plausible deniability, so you can never quite call it out. Their weapon of choice is the silent treatment. You get a promotion they were jealous of, and they don't get angry. They just withdraw. Eye contact vanishes, answers become single words. The room fills with a cold, heavy silence. When you finally break and ask, "What's wrong?" you get that dismissive, "Nothing, I'm fine." The goal is to make you so anxious you scramble to figure out what you did wrong and essentially beg for their forgiveness. It also comes in other forms, like backhanded compliments. "That presentation was great, especially since you were so nervous." It sounds nice, but it's laced with a dig to undermine you. Or subtle sabotage, like forgetting an important message. These aren't accidents. They are calculated moves in a power game, leaving you in a constant state of confusion, always trying to decode the real meaning behind what they do.
You're being punished, but in a way that makes you feel crazy for even thinking it. If these signs are starting to sound painfully familiar, I know it can feel overwhelming.
Just recognizing this pattern is the first, most crucial step. For those who want to go deeper into healing and setting boundaries, I've created a workshop to help. You can find the link for that in the description below. Just remember, clarity is the best antidote to their confusion. Now, the fourth sign is the toxic 1-2 punch that truly messes with your head: gaslighting and projection. Gaslighting makes you question your own sanity, while projection is when they pin their own unacceptable feelings onto you. Together, they create a thick fog of self-doubt. The gaslighting often comes in a gentle, concerned tone. Let's say they break a promise. They won't just deny it. They'll say something like, "I never said that. I think you're just remembering it wrong because you've been so stressed lately. Honestly, I'm a little worried about you." They position themselves as the caring one while telling you your mind is failing. They'll minimize your feelings with classics like, "You're being way too sensitive." Over time, you start to believe it. You stop trusting your own memory.
Projection works right alongside this. A covert narcissist who's secretly jealous will accuse you of being arrogant. If they're being dishonest, they'll constantly question your integrity. In an argument about their selfishness, they'll suddenly fire back, "The problem is you're just so selfish." It's so disorienting because it's the exact opposite of the truth, but it's said with such conviction it throws you completely off balance. The final sign, the one that really solves the puzzle, is their extreme hypersensitivity to criticism paired with a quiet, smug sense of superiority. This is their core contradiction, a fragile ego that shatters at the slightest critique, hidden beneath a belief that they are fundamentally better than everyone else. You absolutely cannot offer them feedback. If you say, "Hey, it would be helpful if you could remember to take out the trash," they don't hear a request, they hear a massive personal attack. Their reaction isn't explosive anger, but a wounded, sulking withdrawal. They might sigh dramatically and say, "I'm sorry, I'm just such a failure at everything," forcing you to immediately take back your request and spend the next hour reassuring them. But at the same time, this insecurity is paired with an unspoken superiority. They might seem bored by things that bring other people joy, or watch others with a look of detached amusement. They show it through concerned comments that are actually criticisms, like, "I'm just worried that your new friends aren't really on your intellectual level." This mix of being easily wounded yet quietly arrogant is their signature. It forces you to constantly manage their feelings while they simultaneously make you feel less than. It's the final puzzle piece that confirms your gut feeling. You aren't dealing with a sensitive soul. You're dealing with a deeply insecure ego that will do anything to protect itself. It starts with a feeling you can't quite name. The feigned sensitivity that hides a complete lack of empathy. The chronic victim mentality. The endless passive-aggressive behavior that keeps you walking on eggshells. That toxic combination of gaslighting and projection that makes you question your own mind. If this sounds less like a checklist and more like your daily reality, listen closely. You are not crazy. You are not imagining it. That constant exhaustion and self-doubt isn't a reflection of you. It's a symptom of hidden emotional abuse. The most insidious part is that it convinces you that you are the problem. But the moment you can name the behavior, you take back your power. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward freedom. It's how you detach from their twisted reality and start trusting your own again. There is healing after this. The journey begins by finally validating what your gut has been screaming at you all along.
Abuse thrives on making you feel utterly alone.
But a simple video prompt, "Share your experience," can shatter that.
It turns a comment section into a chorus of survivors, each story a lifeline, proving you never were.